Greg, tell us a bit about Gregtank. What is Gregtank? How can people fundraise it? What can the community do to get Gregtank up and off the ground?
I'm still planning it out. We got to the only thing that really matters is the bottom line is $5,000. But I didn't really want to make that a fundraising thing as much as let the product speak for itself kind of thing. But yeah, Greg Tank is basically just gonna be me in a room for about 7 days most likely, doing constant challenges and getting messed with, having TTS ruin my day. Basically, it's just like a more lighthearted version of Fishtank with more content. It's less focused on the social dynamic and more focused on the challenge and content and generally one guy in a room type content. So it's more of a hamster cage experience in my opinion. You give the hamster cage a wheel, you give the hamster cage a snack, you give the hamster cage a toy. It's like that type of thing. It's like you're just kind of looking at them, seeing how I react to it. So an idea I had right off the back was that one of the challenges would be that I'd be forced to build a jigsaw puzzle, and the audience could donate to keep it to break it in front of me, and I'm not allowed to stop building the jigsaw puzzle until it's actually finished.
Mm. Are the content or not the content, but the challenges and things like that, those would be submitted by yourself, or would the community choose any of them?
Yeah, I could probably ask the community as well. But it's gonna be a group effort, between me, my crew, and probably the community about what things I would be doing.
I love spicy noodles. I think a spicy noodle challenge in the tank would be like rating spicy noodles. And
I could probably get the one chip challenge on deck.
The one chip?
Yeah, I've already done the one chip.
I heard there's like a hotter one now than the original one chip.
I wouldn't doubt it. But when I was doing the one chip challenge, my teeth started hurting, and I spit like at least a good half cup of saliva.
Oh, I was drooling profusely out of my mouth and my
fingers
nose.
were literally going numb.
Yeah, I think I shit blood for like 2 days. That was the worst part of the one chip challenge for me, was like going to the bathroom the next day.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely rough, but yeah, no, there could definitely be a spicy aspect to it. We have 7 days worth of content, and like I said, it's not gonna be like Fishtank where there's long periods of nothing. It's gonna be pretty much like hourly.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm having a stroke here.
It could probably be even made even more interesting by only giving me a certain amount of time to sleep.
Oh, like sleep deprivation?
Yeah, yep.
You should have they're called like trucker alarms, and they go off they're insanely loud. They're for truck drivers. You should get something like that set up.
Yeah,
where essentially it goes off. You can only sleep for 30 minutes at a time.
Well, I wouldn't say that level of sleep deprivation. Probably get like an hour here, an hour there. Maybe like 3 hours of sleep.
What's the longest you've ever slept?
If I had to guess, I'd probably say 13 hours.
Oh, those are rookie numbers, man. Sometimes I'll sleep for like almost a whole day. Crazy. I'll go to sleep.
No, I'm an early riser. I don't sleep more if I can help it. I only sleep a whole lot if I'm depressed or have nothing better to do.
And I think it's depression for me, probably a little bit.
Yeah.
Which
if you want to
go ahead.
If you want to compare numbers on the other side, obviously I'm not going to fight with an insomniac, but I've gone to a 12-hour shift and slept for 2 hours and then got back up, and then back to 10-hour shift.
When I was younger, I had a job. I remember one morning I woke up and I had to be at work at 9. I got to work at 9. I came home and then I had to drive up to Fort Lauderdale from where I live down in Key West, and then back. I got back home at like 7. I had to be at work at 9 again, and then I completely like worked till 9 and then stayed up the whole night. Oh, I was like a zombie, dude. It was horrible.
Oh yeah. No, I remember.
You get the giggles though, you know, like everything starts being like really funny, and it's like not that funny, but it's just it's called like I don't know. There's a term for it. It's called like sleepy. I don't loopy sleep things. Yeah, you get like everything just becomes like super silly.
That's not the case for me. Whenever I get super tired, I turn into a zombie. I'm just like, like I can't muster up any energy to talk or move my facial muscles. I think the longest I've gone without sleep is probably at max 2 days, because I am a sleepy boy, and if I don't sleep, I literally shut down.
Can you sleep anywhere?
Yeah, I'm a really deep sleeper and a very agile sleeper. I could say that. Like when I was living in LA, we slept in our car for 7 months.
Oh wow!
And like I said before that, you know, I grew up homeless, so we slept on like the rocky terrain a lot. You know, I can sleep on couches, sleep on beds, sleep on the ground, sleep in a car, sleep angled up, angled down.
One time I fell asleep on a Greyhound bus, and I got pink eye.
I'd say so.
It's the only time I've ever gotten pink eye in my life was I fell asleep on a Greyhound bus. I swear to God, the only time I've ever got it, and I got it from sleeping on a Greyhound bus.
Bro, I'm my immune system is built for war, and I am like super healthy. But pink eye, I've had that at least a good double handful of times in my life. Like I won't get flu, I won't get the cold, I won't get any kind of like advanced illness, but pink eye, sore throat, pink eye, sore throat, and stomach ache. Those come every once in a while.
Have you ever? Are you a sober man?
Yeah.
You don't even drink, right? Or you do?
Really.
No, you do drink. I've seen you drink, but outside of drinking, nothing else, right?
No, I do a couple. I can do a couple of fun drugs, but like I said, people think that I'm like an alcoholic from this the show and whatever. It's like, no, I literally just do that for the fans and nothing else. Like, you know, I can go months, if not a year, without drinking. But you know, it's an easy way to get the audience engaged, and it's fun to be drunk and high every once in a while. So I do that. So sometimes I get high, sometimes I get drunk, but usually it's only for entertainment, not really just like let's sit back and relax.
Not like it's like your day off and you're like, I'm just gonna get high.
If I'm doing it for entertainment, I'll probably do it a whole lot during the year. If I'm doing it just for me, I'll probably do it like once or twice a year.
Have you ever done psychedelics?
No. The farthest I go in terms of drugs, is marijuana. And if we're talking about experimental, I've got when I got out of hernia surgery, I took a Percocet when I healed up just to make sure that the
Greg on the perkies, bro. Perking it up, man. You gotta be careful with those. There's fentanyl in them now.
Yeah, but you know, I got it from a doctor. I don't know if that's with the doctor.
If you get it from a doctor, you should be good.
But basically, I felt a certain way getting out of surgery. So you know, after that, I took a Percocet to deal with my pain. The Percocet didn't do shit, so I was just slamming ibuprofen after the fact. So when I healed up, I was like, okay, let's see if how I feel the day I got out of surgery is how I feel now. Percocets are awesome.
That disclaimer, don't do Percocets.
Don't do Percocets, but they are awesome.
Yeah. Right. I got this.
I've only done it once. You don't have to worry about me. I did it once and I cut it immediately after that because getting addicted to shit is cringe as hell.
It's super
But it was
addictive.
nice for what it was.
I remember I got in a real bad car accident, and they had me on like Percocets, and the Percocets didn't do anything for the pain. It just like really mellowed me out. It was good for like when I didn't want to like deal with anything for the day. It's like a good rainy day type of drug, but I can definitely see why there's such a why there's such an addictive thing, right?
Yeah.
And that's usually a telltale sign if something's good. You should never abuse something that's good.
Well, I think if you know it's a drug and you
Yeah.
know it's addictive, then you're stupid if you can do it more than that. You have to be in a really bad sense of a mental state to be like, oh yes, the thing that I know is addictive. Let me do that over and over, which is why I try not to drink so often because I'm like, I am not becoming an alcoholic.
Yeah, don't become an alcoholic. If you had words of advice to, I guess, people out there who are struggling with depression, what would you tell somebody who is like struggling with depression or trying to fit in, or if you had any
I
words
mean,
of wisdom?
trying to fit in and depression are two totally different things. So which one
Well,
you want me to
let's
talk
split it
about?
up. Let's do depression. Let's talk about depression.
Well, depression's a whole thing. You know, it's one of those things that I don't think you can ever be okay with. The only way you can just be okay with it being okay with it. You know what I mean? It's
Hmm.
like you have to surround yourself with people that will support you and help you out when time gets low. You have to come up with like a good routine to kind of get yourself up when you're down. Like for me personally, whenever I feel depressed, which I don't want to say I have depression. It's a here and there thing. I think it's like a side effect of ADHD or some shit. I don't know. It's mental illness is complicated as
Hmm.
hell. But I like to just go and take a walk. Sit and hear it, take in the sounds of nature, and just kind of like zen out on that
Hmm.
regard. I try not to surround myself with negative energy. Like the type of stuff like you don't want to delve too deep into wars or politics or what's bad for you or what's good for you. You don't want to surround
Hmm.
yourself with negative things. So basically, you just want to take a moment, help yourself slow down, and focus on what is good rather than what is bad. That's not a one size fits all kind of situation, but I find myself whenever I get down, I like to just disconnect from it for a minute, disconnect from the the pitter patter of the working world at the moment.
Yeah, I was. We were talking with Bex last week about
If X is
things,
awesome.
and one of my favorite things to do. I meditate in the
Yeah.
morning time. I meditate for about 15 minutes, and then in the evening time before I go to bed, I'll do like breathing exercises. Sometimes I'll listen to like binaural beats. Have you ever heard those? Have you ever
Uh,
tried anything like anything like that?
nah, I've tried to do meditating. I don't think it's for me. I think my form of meditating is just you know taking in this stuff around me, and just kind of
Hmm.
like asking myself what I'm thankful for and how simple this world is. I've tried to do meditating, but like I said, with ADHD, my mind's all over the place, so I can't really turn it off.
Yeah, I well, I have ADHD as well.
Oh, does it
Did
help
you
though?
ever? It does, but it was really hard to get into at first, and I had to find like they're called like guided meditations, where
Yeah.
essentially someone is like talking me through like what to do, and it's always like this. Be still now. You are one. Take in a breath. Feel the breath. The breath is moving into your lungs. Feel your toes. Now feel the blood from your toes. Like stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
And that kind of got me into it more. And then once I knew, like, once you've listened to like a couple dozen of those, then eventually you kind of know like what to do. It's all about like stopping and slowing down. When I was young, I was diagnosed with ADHD, and I hadn't taken medication for a long time. And then around last summer, I was talking to the doctor, and I was like, "Listen, I was diagnosed with ADHD when I'm younger. I'm this age. I got a lot going on. I don't know what the fuck to do. I feel overburdened. I have so much shit going on that I don't, I can't stay focused on one task. I got 20 tasks. I'll do 10% of one task and 50% of another task, and I'll be like, that's good enough for today, and then I'll just stop doing my tasks." So they put me on Vyvanse. And all Vyvanse done has made me hyper focused on whatever I'm doing, which is bad because I spend a lot of time at the computer for work, and now I'm just spending even more time at the computer for work. Why are you looking at me like that?
What did Vyvanse do? Everybody knows what Vyvanse did in 2018.
What did Vyvanse do in 2018?
We all know.
I don't know. Tune me in. What happened?
Don't know, you're not in the know.
Well, I'm gonna have to look it up. What is it bad? I know it's like a form of meth. Apparently, they say.
Yeah, probably.
But as far as like, have you taken medication for your ADHD, or do you just go balls free?
I tried to do medication, but they make it so goddamn difficult in the American healthcare to get anything done, so I just gave up on it. But I probably was on Vyvanse, I was on Adderall, I was on some other third one, I can't remember.
I know, I get it now. What did Vance do in 2018? I got you.
Got it.
I got you. I see where you were going. So yeah, I would recommend not taking it, to be honest. I feel like when I wasn't on it, I was a little more zippier, a little more wacky. I'm still pretty zippy, I'm still pretty wacky, but not to the extent I was. And I tried telling my doctor, I was like, "Listen, there's something wrong with me." And they're like, "Well, what's wrong with you?" And I was like, and I showed him a video on my phone. I was like, "This is me driving my car." And it's like a 5-minute long video of me going, "He-Man, I want to milk your ass, He-Man. He-Man, please let me milk your ass, He-Man. He-Man, if you can hear me now, I am going to be milking your ass." And like nonstop, nobody in the car, just me. And they're like, "Yeah, maybe you need some medication." And now that I take the medication, I don't do that. And to be honest, I kind of miss that,
Yeah, no, that sounds awesome.
It's like a severe form of like a tick. I don't like almost like a autistic sort of like tick, like audible ticks. Like I need to constantly make sounds. I used to do a lot of beatboxing, which I know you do as well, and things like that. I don't do those as much off the medication or on the medication as I used to. So that's kind of like the negative side.
The way I see it is because with ADHD, you're having a hard time focusing. If there's nothing happening right at the exact moment, like I have this problem a lot as someone who's unmedicated, is that I need to do things like right away. I have no patience when it comes to things. Like I can wait for things, but if I am, then I'm gonna be like waiting. Like that's gonna be the whole thing. I'm not doing anything in between that. Waiting is the main prerogative. So if I have nothing planned, then I'm just constantly zipping around. So the options are either do nothing or do everything.
So you just do everything.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm very erratic when it comes to my behavior, unless I have like a schedule, an appointment, in which case I just scroll on my phone for 3 hours.
See, when I have schedules or appointments, I get time blindness. Where I'm like, oh, I gotta be here at 3:00, and then next thing you know, I'm like, it's 3:45. I know it takes me 5 minutes to get there, but I'm like, oh, I better check my emails. I better water the flowers. I better, see what people are saying on Twitter. And the next thing you know, I have to be there, and I'm 5 minutes late. Like I have the time.
It's the exact opposite for me. I have time hyper focus. I'll be there like 30 minutes to an hour early just because I can't stand not doing anything for that long.
I wish I had what you have.